Have you ever had one of those conversations with a staff member that just keep going around and around and around in circles? You know, the ones where you're trying to get them to focus on something that they need to do better, maybe to perform at a higher level or to behave more appropriately. And it's kind of like a tennis match. You throw the ball over there and they whack it back to you over there, and you bring something up and they have an excuse for this and an excuse for that, and nothing ever gets resolved. Well, maybe it's because you're actually trying to solve the wrong problem. Let me give you an example. Recently, I was leading a training workshop with a client, and we had a manager in there who had a salesperson who worked for him that wasn't performing consistently. And we'll call him Fred. Now, Fred's other problem was that he was on the phone and not to his clients or prospects. He was messaging, he was on WhatsApp, he was on Facebook, he was everywhere but where he should have been. And potentially, rightly so, the manager decided that it was Fred's phone habit that was inhibiting his ability to make sales. And so that's the problem that he was trying to solve. He was trying to solve the problem that Fred was actually on the phone too much, that he was on WhatsApp and Messenger. Now, Fred's excuses were, of course, that he needed to WhatsApp or be on Messenger, that not all of his clients were available to take phone calls. And yet, it never solved the problem. And the problem wasn't actually that Fred was on Messenger and WhatsApp. The problem was that Fred was not consistently making his sales. Now, the symptom that he was on his phone doing other things may have been a result of another problem. So maybe Fred has phone fear. Maybe he was afraid to pick up the phone and to call his clients. Maybe he suffered from a lack of confidence. Maybe something else was going on. Who knows? Well, who does know? The only person who actually knows is Fred. And instead of asking him, the manager, like most managers, made the assumption that he knew what the problem was, and he was trying to fix that issue, but it never got resolved. When we actually wound it back and we set up some specific goals for Fred, and we managed those goals, we managed the success of that outcome, having conversations around how he's going to achieve that outcome may very well lead to conversations about his phone usage, but not necessarily. When you're trying to solve performance or behavioral issues, it's fundamental that the first thing that you need to do is you need to focus on the right problem. As a manager, we can hallucinate all day long what we think the problem might be, but we could be wrong all day long. So instead, ask your employee. Use a coaching model to walk them through a conversation to help them understand what the issue actually is, but more importantly, to help them generate options that they can buy into, that they can have ownership over, and that you can hold them accountable to. Try it. Let me know how it goes.